Welcome back to Your View.
So thanks for staying with us. The Duffield Premier Foods, as we've always told you, are the makers of Indomie noodles. They noticed the gap in not appreciating youngsters below 15 who have done something heroic and amazing. Hence, they created Indomie Independence Day Awards for the past 11 years. Indomie has rewarded 37 winners with ₦1 million scholarship each. This year is no different, as 3 more children will be awarded. Today in the studio, we have the Duffield Premier Foods Group Public Relations and Events Manager, Mr. Tokwe Ashiwaju. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you.
So, tell us again about, because in the past few weeks, we've interviewed quite a number of kids. We've seen the amazing stuff they've done. Some of them were winners, just creative, intellectually, bravery, different segments. Okay. Now, the awards are coming up in October. Tell us a bit about the events. How do you come up with this selected shortlist children who have been shortlisted, and how do you then decide who is the final 3?
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. Let me just start by saying that Duffield Premier Foods PLC, we realized, just like I said, the gap, and majority of those who have been celebrated and rewarded in Nigeria have actually been people up there, high and mighty, and we felt that there were children who were doing this thing voluntarily without...
Welcome back to Your View.
So thanks for staying with us. The Duffield Premier Foods, as we've always told you, are the makers of Indomie noodles. They noticed the gap in not appreciating youngsters below 15 who have done something heroic and amazing. Hence, they created Indomie Independence Day Awards for the past 11 years. Indomie has rewarded 37 winners with ₦1 million scholarship each. This year is no different, as 3 more children will be awarded. Today in the studio, we have the Duffield Premier Foods Group Public Relations and Events Manager, Mr. Tokwe Ashiwaju. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you.
So, tell us again about, because in the past few weeks, we've interviewed quite a number of kids. We've seen the amazing stuff they've done. Some of them were winners, just creative, intellectually, bravery, different segments. Okay. Now, the awards are coming up in October. Tell us a bit about the events. How do you come up with this selected shortlist children who have been shortlisted, and how do you then decide who is the final 3?
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. Let me just start by saying that Duffield Premier Foods PLC, we realized, just like I said, the gap, and majority of those who have been celebrated and rewarded in Nigeria have actually been people up there, high and mighty, and we felt that there were children who were doing this thing voluntarily without having it at the back of their mind, any form of reward to come their way. So we started this initiative in 2018, and we felt that, okay, we're going to reward children 15 years and below in all this. So what we usually do every year was to have what's called a research company, or research companies go around the country seeking some of these stories which ordinarily will have been either mentioned in the past or maybe things that had just recently happened. So what we did was that, okay, yes, we put all these stories together just like that. You've seen some of those past winners. This year alone, we have over 380 stories that we've gotten so far. And it broadly goes into 3 categories, which is the physical bravery, the social bravery, and the intellectual bravery. Right. If I may quickly just explain, the physical bravery are children who have done some physical acts. You know, like we've seen people who rescued either their siblings from a burning house or any of those things. And of course, you know, the social bravery, you had children who went ahead and campaigned against evils of the society, early child marriage, raping, you know, just like he said, initially he had people who wanted divorce at all costs. All these things don't start when they get married. You probably find that some of those things are things that had been there. Either maybe the child had witnessed it from the parents and, you know, had people doing advocacy in that stage. And of course, you have intellectual bravery, people who had created, been ingenuity from academic tracks and other things that they have created.
So these 300 plus children you've got now, how do you shortlist them? What's the process? Okay,
what we do is that, of course, we put all these things together based on the stories that we have. And of course, we also have, how do I put it? We have judges in our society who are credible people that we have chosen, and they will look at all these stories. And at no point in time do we really have a say in who becomes the winner. We'll just leave it to Nigerians, and of course we leave it to judges to decide who these people, who the winners will be.
Okay, so most of the time we see celebrations and fund being committed to celebrities, artistic creativity kind of space, but you're celebrating intellectual and you're celebrating people that are fighting for a cause. I wonder, because we're seeing publicity, thankfully, you're doing this now, we're seeing it, but how do you want to encourage more people to take up this action? What's your plan going forward? Is there going to be like a conference for this 300 to encourage every one of them? Because so that it's not just the winners that get celebrated, because every one of them have done something heroic to get to that point. Okay,
usually what we do is that all these people put together, I mean, it's just not having to reward the winners, so to speak. But all of them, as far as the company is concerned, they are all winners. For you to actually have been identified or recognized in that particular space.
So will they all be at the event?
No, well, usually, you know, it's a nationwide research that we have done. So, I mean, logistics might not allow some of them to be, but usually we invite them to the... This year, you also see past winners who ordinarily will have not sat down with the high and mighty of the society, so to speak. But, I mean, they are given that kind of platform to, rub minds with everyone.
Right. So I know that there are a lot of other young people who are doing things in their own little way. Yes. And nobody's seeing them at the moment. But some people might be interested in getting into this award. So how do you register to become a part?
Okay, usually what we do, we have a website called, the www.heroesofnigeria.com. Which people ordinarily go to submit their stories, and we just encourage everyone, apart from the Heroes of Nigeria.com, we also have the dofield.com, www.dofield.com, and of course people can actually put in hard writing and send it to our office in 44 Eric Moore Road or any of those Indomie offices nationwide. These stories can be submitted.
I believe this initiative is laudable, but I want to understand if you've ever had any kind of criticism about this CSR initiative. Has there been criticism, and if there are there any other options that you're looking at in the future to do a CSR for the
constantly we keep getting feedbacks, which some of them are, of course, maybe criticized or maybe asking, okay, how authentic are these stories, or maybe these stories have been rewarded, or maybe they've been heard before. But for us, the feedback is, usually allows us to do better every year. I mean, this is the 11th edition. It means, we've done it consecutively for 11, this will be the 11th year. So, we take all this feedback and it helps us to actually do better every year.
Okay, let me say, why did you start this initiative in the first? I knew you obviously saw the gap. Yes. But I know you have others, Indomie, Power Oil, Mini. These are all products that are household items. Yes. What exactly, why this specific category of reward system for Nigerians? Okay,
essentially it's because you know that, once you catch this particular generation early enough, it gives, there's hope for a better tomorrow. Right. Ordinarily you find out that this particular set of children are people who, like you said, if they were doing all these things without having at the back of mind that there will be any reward coming their way, it means there's a hope for us. And the more of this celebration that we do, the more people see them, and the more likely that they want to be like them. So it's hope.
So I know Indomie has heroic characters attached to the brand.
Okay.
You have on the body of the pack, you see heroic, sort of like making you feel like when you drink Indomitables, when you're eating Indomie, you become like Indomitables, sort of. Yes. And this CSR ties well into celebrating such people that are heroic. However, there are other children out there who indeed believe in your brand, consume your brand, but you're not doing activities that would touch them directly. Okay. Are there other CSR projects you feel that would meet the needs of the Nigerian population? The children don't have shoes. Children are not having good schools.
Let me put you in perspective.
You're making money from them, and you might as well just do things that would have direct impact on their everyday life.
Yes, these are your largest consumers. Okay. And I would expect, like Tokwe initially mentioned, academic CSR. So you look at the best of the best in schools and give them academic scholarships instead of, everybody aspiring to do bang bang.
Okay, let me also mention to you that this is just one of those CSR activities that we do. Every year, one of the things that we do, we have we have scholarship from primary school to a master's degree. It will surprise you that even to that point, we have a master's degree in nutrition and dietetics. Every year we have, I mean, people giving scholarship. We have primary school, we have secondary schools. And one of our core, or one of the 3 core areas that we focus on is education, health, care, and what do you call it now? Community development projects. Now for education, if you go to any school, I can say proudly that if you go to any school in Nigeria, public schools, you've virtually seen our brand being present in terms of giving them books, in terms of giving them biros, providing boards for them, providing public toilets. I mean, we have issues in, up north, that the moment some of these people come to school, and I mean, there are no, the hygiene, for instance, females don't come to school up north anymore. It's that bad. So we make all these provisions to them. Primary health, we've made provision for all the most pediatric wards in, like I say, in all the geopolitical zones in the country.
Okay.
The Indomie brand is doing amazing. Like when you hear noodle, the first thing that comes to your head is Indomie. Right. And you guys are doing well. For this year, you've done amazing. What are your projections for the rest of the year?
Well, projection in terms of sales or in terms of corporate social responsibility?
Everything altogether, your sales, because everything, your sales are increasing. Like in my school, my children's school, they have this Indomie club where you have to belong. They give them bags and school books and all of that. Yes, every term. You pay for it and you get all of those stuff, Indomie, and all those Indomie table, they give them their names. I think my daughter was one Sansa one time, just pick names of those heroes. So you are doing amazing. So but you should have like a projection. What do you hope to?
You see, our projection usually is to, of course, to bring more people into the fold. I mean, it's not about sales per se. Let me interest you, there are parents who ordinarily, they get a call from Indomie and say, oh, congratulations, ma, today's your son's birthday, we want to celebrate with him or her. You can imagine a parent at work that had forgotten, and we're reminding, and the excitement, and we're taking pictures, and we're going to the brand, taking the brand to those schools and celebrating with those children.
We have to run up, but I need you to tell us about that day exactly, on the event. What's going to happen? What are our expectations on that day? Okay,
our expectation is that, we're bringing everybody together. People, it's an event whereby people will be invited. And this is just to showcase, it's not possible to invite all Nigerians to that particular venue. But the selected few that will be at that venue, we expect them that, they will come see what Nigerians or what Nigerian children have actually done that, actually makes people proud or to say, oh, I'm a Nigerian. I know that Nigerian children can actually take this country out of this bois we are today.
So impressive kids we've seen in the past few weeks. Creating stuff, so many projects that were done by this
Some people don't even believe that this thing happened in our community. But until we begin to showcase them, initially we never wanted to, because we don't want people go acting. But now we feel we have enough materials to show to Nigerians that this are actually happening, and of course we are doing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shivaji, for being here. Wish you the best in your events coming, and I hope to have those 3 kids come on show and let's see what they got.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right.